there was a time when I wasn't even sure that I wanted to be famous, just because of the industry. It's important to just understand that people go through different phases in their lives.
Whatever energy you tap into on social media or you give to is where your power goes. So if you give it that attention, you make that thing stronger.
You cannot replace how it feels to be in this room. You cannot replace how the conversation is flowing. It would not be the same.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to it. This is Nomthi Vithi Talks Longevity. Finally, we are here.
Yay.
Can I get a round of applause from the crew? Yes. I'm so excited. This is Nomthi Vithi Talks Longevity. It's all about long life. I'm such an advocate for just going through the long haul of this journey called life and discovering different parts about yourself and the superpowers that you have hidden within you. So here on this talk show, we're going to be uncovering, and we're not just going to be having interviews with our guests, but we are going to be having inner views. I want to dive deep inside my guests every single time when I'm sitting on this couch. I want to get to know my guest intimately, and I want you at home to also get to know who they are and how they've managed to survive this journey called life. I like to call life as a bit of a game because, some win, some don't. But if you lose, you can always win again and again and again. You just got to make sure that you listen to the right people who will motivate you. So my guest today is going to do just that, motivate you, inspire you, empower you to get up, try again on this journey called life, and to do it your best, basically. So she is a friend of mine from school. We go way back from beauty pageants. We were teenage girls, and that's where I started my career in the beauty pageant space, and I met this beautiful face. And then it happened that we had a relationship, a friendship for many years after that. Her name is Nomthi Vithi.
Thank you. It's so amazing to be here. Just, we were calculating earlier how many years we've known each other, and that just proves exactly what you're saying, longevity.
Longevity. We've known each other for like 26 years. Yeah. That is a longevity of a friendship.
Yeah.
Let's literally just start this conversation right then and there. Like, what's your take on friendships in 2025, the dynamics of relationships today, and how can people sustain longevity in their girl-to-girl friendships and also just leading into, whether they get married in the relationships, they find love. How did we manage to survive this friendship?
So I think, the word authenticity has just been so misused and misrepresented, but it's really that. Just allowing somebody for you to be yourself and somebody to be themselves in whatever phase that they're going through in life. I always say that I've got friends who have different, or who are going through different phases in life, and I support them where they are.
Right.
And I show up genuinely. I'm one of those friends who will be like, honey, I told you so.
Yes.
Because I think it's important to be honest, for me to be able to say, I don't think you're making the right decision, but if that's a decision that you want to make,
I'll support you.
It's fine. And if and when it comes that you realize that you were wrong or you change your mind, again, I'm here to just be there as a friend and not trying to control your life. Just obviously help guide the fun side as well. Have that fun, but just be authentic with yourself. And also, life has ups and downs.
Yes.
So when I'm down, I rely on those friendships myself to just be like, hey, girl, what's up? And just be authentic.
Now with us, because I really want people to get the meat of how you are one of my first guests on the show, and just our relationship and how we haven't spoken for many years. But it's so funny that because also I've had my life, living out there in the public eye, you had chosen a different kind of route at some point. And when we reconnected, it was as if like we never ever were disconnected.
Yeah.
That's actually how you also maintain a longevity in relationship, where when you come back, you're not going like, oh, you left me for so long. What's been happening?
Happened?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's also, like I'm saying, it's important to just understand
Yeah.
that people go through different phases in their lives and just allow people to be. I think sometimes we get so caught up in controlling the outcome according to how we want it to look and forget that you have your own path and it's okay for you to just be in that path and walk it. But if you're soul friends, look,
Always comes back.
when the connection comes back, it's as literally as if you never left.
And now we are reunited and we are older.
Yeah.
And we are wiser and you are looking more beautiful than ever before.
Thank you.
I just have to give you that.
Thank you
And
so
by the way,
much.
everybody, she won Miss City. Was it Miss City Press?
Yeah.
And also Miss Teen. You were also okay. There's a
Yeah.
lot. You're gonna tell us all about that. She's gonna tell us. Let's start from the beginning for people who really want to get to know who Nomthi Vithi is. Just let us know where you were born and your background.
Okay, so interestingly enough, because my dad is a priest, people always say, "Utswako kai, or where you from, whatever." I'm like, I don't really have that.
Yeah.
Because I moved every 5 years. So I was born in Tabanchu, moved literally every 5 years, but spent most of my growing up time in Pretoria. And I think that's where we met, and I did a lot of pageantry. And it's so interesting. Every time people used to say, "Why are you entering?" I'm like, for the prizes at the time. Literally.
We just wanted to win cars. I always wanted to. I had my eyes on if the pageant didn't have a car, I was
like-
just like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember, in fact, at Miss City Press, they asked me that. They were like, "Why do you want to win?" I'm like, the car. Honestly, we needed, I genuinely needed a car. My parents were moving out of, they were moving for another 5 years and I was staying and I needed a car.
Yeah.
And I really do love what pageantry did for us at the time. But I think, if I'm being honest, at the time I was like, I just want to win a car. But then once I was in the space, I realized you've got so much influence, like real influence over people. And you can speak so much life into their world, and people look up to you. And at the time, we didn't even realize. We were just girls doing our thing. But now that I look back, it was a beautiful time. And then,
Before we get into the pageant space, though, and you let us know what you won, because this lady here is as you can see, face card never declines, won everything. I just want to know more. Like, did you have siblings growing up,
Yeah.
or were you the only child?
Yes.
And as you just mentioned, your father was a priest. How did that impact your upbringing and just your overall being?
so I have two siblings, one older, one younger. We're three girls. And the beautiful thing about how we were raised is that, my parents allowed us to be ourselves, as children. And so having a pastor and you being in the modeling space, it was just like a taboo thing at the time. And my dad would always remind people that he's the pastor, not me. So they must just allow me to just do what I need to do and walk my path. And then you introduced me as Nomthi Vithi, but I'm actually Nomthi Linyai.
Yes.
And I don't get offended, by the way, because that's
before you got married.
yeah. And that's my brand, right? Nomthi Vithi is my brand. So I still use it. And got married 2010 and 15 years later, we've got 3 children.
Before we even get to the marriage,
Yeah.
I want to still dig deep into your upbringing in terms of where you were raised in Pretoria. What was it that you were seeing around you that opened your eyes to wanting to be maybe in the space that you ended up being in the modeling space? Who was that figure at home for you or around your society? Because I'm assuming being raised by a pastor, were you mostly in the church? Was that all you were exposed to? So how did you have a desire for this entertainment industry space?
I started actually way before I met you. So I probably did modeling when I was like,
Did you do Miss Tinkerbell?
I did Miss Tinkerbell. I did Miss Tinkerbell. I was one of those girls. I did all of that. I think I just
did it
had
too.
Really, I think I just had the love for the space and having like an outward personality. I just love being around people, and that's all we knew at the time.
Yes.
And so I did that, and then I stopped from like 10 years old. Like, I'm a big tomboy, so I just was like hanging off trees and stuff.
Yeah,
for
just
like,
being a kid.
Yeah, just being a child.
Yeah.
And then, interestingly enough, Baba Lwam Neno is a family friend. So I call her my cousin literally because and she came to our home one day and we were having a function or something, and she came and she was with people and we were just hanging around. And she was like, oh my goodness, you should enter Miss Jam Alley. And I was,
yes.
Yeah. And I was kind of like, yeah, do it. Like I literally didn't even, I almost not even dared her. I kind of dismissed her. And she found a picture and she's like, oh, this is so pretty. You should enter Miss Jam Alley. And I was like, just leave me alone. Like, I'm just living my life. And she took the picture and entered me. And that's how I re-entered pageantry.
So were you also part of Miss Jam Alley when it started? You won, right?
I didn't win, but I didn't win, but I was part of it. It was enjoyable. And I think at the time I was more like shocked because I got a call one day and they were like, hi, you Miss Jam Alley November. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm what?
Okay, let's take people back who are watching. We might have the new kids on the block who are not familiar with what Jam Alley was and how big of a culture Jam Alley, the TV show, was, which had Vinolia as a presenter, Nimrod as a presenter, and how it changed our lives, because I was actually one of the contestants on Jam Alley when I was 13.
Oh, wow.
And I won 300 rands and probably a jam blaster.
And it's
so just let people know what Jam Alley was for us.
It was an entire movement.
Yeah.
The fact that you could be on television and be yourself at the time was just incredible. It really celebrated us as Black people.
Yes.
In a time when we were still trying to figure out where we fit into this world. And it kind of just brought our culture on television, and we could celebrate just, you know, and
we could celebrate our music, you know, our just our culture of just being who we are as South Africans.
Yeah.
And you know, South Africans just have their own uniqueness about them.
100%. And so it just allowed us to be, it was on a Friday night, right?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, but every day, every night we were there. You couldn't miss.
You couldn't miss TV. I miss that kind of world. I feel like the new generation of the young ones now, they don't have that kind of culture where certain time they're watching their TV, certain time they're waiting for Friday to come 6 p.m. to watch a particular show, because now everything is just so accessible on social media. Whereas before, there was no internet, there was no phones like this. We had to really, for us to have fun and connect, we had to be there with each other. You know, we couldn't connect online.
No.
You know?
It was very
different. I miss that era.
And I think that's why, you know, I can't really say in the future, but I definitely can say in the past. That's why we could connect so deep.
We were.
Yeah, we and that's why our relationships have longevity, because we had to be there. Like, I had to experience things with you.
We had to be friends. Like, we had to do pageants together, to hold each other's hands through these moments for us to actually grow our friendship. Whereas today, maybe people have this friendship by following each other, and that's why the longevity is not there, because it's not really rooted in the foundation of self, of knowing each other, from authenticness.
And there's just something about touch and feel that you can't, that you cannot replace.
Yes,
you cannot replace how it feels to be in this room. You know, you cannot replace how the conversation is flowing. It would not be the same if we weren't in the same room, looking into your eyes, feeling your energy, and just realizing that, oh my goodness, like, we're doing this.
We're doing this.
Yeah.
So I remember Miss Jam Alley. I remember Loretta Mangope.
Yes.
Oh, she was my favorite.
She's
I'm aware.
To this day,
she is
still beautiful.
That was the girl. Those were the girls that I looked up to, and I also wanted to look like you, her. I mean, I also had my inspirations of girls, and you were one of them that I would have like pictures of in my room, because your beauty was always so captivating.
But
I wanted to look like you guys. I also wanted to look like you guys. You know,
you are so beautiful.
I'm telling you, thank you, friend. You know, we've grown into ourselves now. But congrats on all of that as well, and Jam Alley and stuff. But my biggest was for you being in Miss Teen. Sure, remember Miss Teen?
Yeah.
That was another cultural movement. Yeah. And we pageant girls always wanted to be in specific pageants, because we knew that was the place to get exposure, meet the right people. I'm just filling the people at home know.
Yeah.
Because now everybody can find whatever information on socials. We had to do pageants. Do you remember Sally Ann Kopa?
Yes.
Yes.
So
And
I actually did Miss Teen with her.
she was also one of the girls. She's
Yeah.
also another friend of mine.
Yeah.
So let's chat about that time. What year was this, and how old were you in Miss Teen? Miss Teen South Africa.
Yeah. So this was 2021. And sure, you speak about friendships and longevity. I met one of my best friends, Nobuntu Samba at the time.
Yes.
And she's still my best friend
Wow.
to this day.
That's longevity,
Yeah.
babe.
So we've been friends. I mean, I don't know how many years that is now. 24 years. I'm talking through all the babies, through all the marriages, through all the ups and downs.
Everything.
Yeah, literally, like
fantastic.
consistently for 24 years. And
She was one of the finalists as
she
well
was one of
in the
finalists
pageant.
at the
Okay.
pageant. Yeah. So Sally Ann won that particular year.
Oh, was that the year? Hey,
Yes.
I remember.
Yeah.
She also it was the first time
Yeah.
that a young black girl had won such a prominent
Exactly.
title. So she really did pioneer for all of us to step into that space and to own the throne.
Yeah. And it was beautiful because we were just young girls who were just really just authentic, like, you know, and at the time I remember us, I remember me, Nobuntu and Sally Ann.
Yes.
This is like BTS stuff. And my older sister was living in the States at the time.
Okay.
And so I went to go visit her. So it was during the school holidays. So I went to go visit her. And then I literally flew from the airport straight to the pageant. So I didn't even go home. I had my parents come in with a different bag,
Okay.
meet me at the airport, drive me to the pageant. And so you can imagine, I was in the States for 2 weeks. Everything was like, my hair was looking upside down. Everything was like not working.
Right.
And then Nobuntu and Sally Ann also came. And for some reason, we just weren't happy, you know, with what we look like. And we're
Okay,
like,
I know
but
that feeling.
like we're going to be on national TV.
Right.
Looking like this. And you know, it's very different. Like being Black is very different. Like we change our hair every 2 weeks. You can't take me to a pageant for 2 weeks and not expect me to change my hair.
Right. It
before
needs
the
to be
show.
freshened up.
Yeah, it needs to be fresh. Not even
Right.
freshened up. It needs to be fresh. Like it needs to be.
We
a new
need to
hairstyle.
relax the
Exactly,
hair.
Exactly. And so we fought. And the organizers couldn't understand. They were like, "You guys look fine," and we were like, we literally almost like held a mini, like, you know.
Oh, with the organizers.
With the organizers, like it was it was just massive friction because they were like, "You
Yes.
guys are fine." We were like, "No, you
we're
have to
not.
understand us for who we are and how we feel. We're going to be the ones walking on the stage, so we need to be comfortable with what we look like."
Wow.
And eventually they allowed us, but it was that representation of understanding that you can't do that to a Black girl. Like my girls change their hair like. When my girl says, my two girls say, want to change their hair, they want to change their hair.
Right.
It is what it is. That's how we are.
That's interesting. I would have thought they would have had like an area of like makeup artists, hairstylists in the back there waiting for you guys so that they could, because you guys looked immaculate on stage.
So that's on
what
the
I
day. That's the on the day stuff, right?
Okay.
But we wanted a certain look to go on stage.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so some of the things that you don't realize that, I mean, we don't know what happened years after, but this is probably a consideration that they had to make to say, if we're going to bring you in for 2 weeks, at some point, something's going to change, you know?
Right.
And they wouldn't understand that. And that's why people in the room are important that represent you.
Right.
And your needs as a girl who's coming up the ladder.
Right.
You know? Because there's certain things, mountains that we need to flatten, or we had to flatten at the time.
Right.
So that the girls can
That
walk
coming through now can
walk.
What do they normally say on social media? They sometimes refer to me and say, I walked so others could run.
Yeah.
You know, so there's always got to be, so you did the same in the space. And there's always got to be a generation of somebody who has to pave the way, open the way, and who starts something and pioneers something. So I applaud you for that, by the way.
No, it was amazing. But it was also nice that we were together in this, you know, we weren't.
Because how many Black girls were in the pageant that year?
Gail was in that pageant.
Gail, go on
she's
it.
so beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
She's still beautiful.
Still beautiful.
Yeah.
I did Miss Black Like Me.
Yes. You
with,
won,
with,
right?
with Gail. No, I was the runner up.
Okay.
With Gail, and Gareth Brown won.
Oh, yes, I remember.
The pageant world.
Yeah, the girls. But South African girls, always. You know, they're doing the social media. South African girls, like...
What's your take on I made a lot of good friends at pageants. Gail became one of my friends from that era. you became one of my friends, Sally Ann. Like, I don't know, like I met some really amazing women on those platforms for me, on pageants.
Yeah.
Why do you think there's that narrative that is out there that makes people assume that there's a lot of competition and cattiness?
No.
There might be some, but where does it stem from?
To be honest, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know where it comes from because I mean we did a lot of pageants together. We did 2 or 3 pageants
Right.
together, and like I'm saying, I met my best friend there. I genuinely don't know.
And
where
maybe
it
it's
comes
just a mindset of what
thing.
maybe people assume, because I promise you, I've had the best experiences at pageants.
Exactly.
And I want to just chat quickly on how also being part of Miss Teen South Africa, because it was a big pageant. I mean, there was a year where Gina Athens won, and it was just a huge platform. How did it open the doors for you to parlay your career further into the entertainment space?
I mean, at the time, right? It's those kind of platforms made you really.
Yeah.
You know, they just created a space for you that you then decided what to do with. But you just, I mean, at the time, national TV.
You were on national TV, SABC One.
Yeah, at 8 o'clock with everyone watching.
Everybody, I was there. I was watching there. I was like, oh, I used to record VCR vibes.
So it's definitely
Life changing.
Yeah, definitely, you know, people get to know your name, people get to know your brand, and you can do with it whatever you want to do with it, but it definitely gives you the platform. And I think sometimes it's just that, people having the platform and having the opportunity to then decide what you want to do, you know, with your life afterwards.
So what was your mindset like when you were in that pageant at that time? When what were you, runner-up?
Second runner-up.
Second runner-up.
Yeah.
So you were obviously top 3. Obviously, it was front page. People were starting to recognize you. How did then your life change? Did people stop you on the streets? Did job opportunities come? Did men approach you? Because you know how it is. So I just want a feel of how intense it gets when you are in such a platform.
Definitely job opportunities. I got
They came.
I got calls. I did a couple of shows. I did Selma Tunzi for a few
Episodes. You're presenting.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did-
girl!
yeah,
I
did-
think I remember now. with was Brown still around?
Yes,
Hey?
yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. So I did that, and then, but at the time, you know, also back then, the industry was not clear. There was no clear path to say, if you go in, this is what's going to happen. You know? And so
we were just gauging it.
we were, and so I chose the route of school. I went to varsity afterwards, so I didn't carry on in the entertainment industry. So I
Okay.
went to varsity and I studied and I did all of that. But it really does just make you realize that these platforms just open you up.
Yes.
But I think what's different is social media. So at the time, there was no social media. So I don't think you
Girl,
get...
there was no phones like that.
Yeah.
You had to beep me. I had a beeper.
Yeah, I remember.
A pager.
And so I think the time was beautiful because even if you were famous or you're a celebrity or you're a household name,
No one had that much access to you.
and your head didn't get that big.
Yes.
Because you just didn't know that people knew you. You
Yes.
didn't know how many people, like now I can tell you not exactly, but how many people followers, you know, those kind of
Yes.
things.
Yes.
They kind of give you an idea. But back then, it kept you humble.
Right.
I just went to school. I went to varsity. I kind of carried on with my life. You know.
Yes.
Yes, I would get that. I mean, I still do from back then. People get those encounters, but it just was never something that was in my mind, you know, the whole time. Because even if somebody knew me from Cape Town or Tanzania or whatever, just didn't make a difference to me at the time. And because I chose to go the other route, I kind of shut the door.
So you chose to just from that pageant, from that platform of influence, you were like, it's okay. I'm just going to go and study. What did you go and study at varsity? Economics.
Yeah.
Did you finish?
I did. So I
congrats.
graduated and then I went into work. I was a stockbroker.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did a graduate program and then I was a stockbroker and I carried on working. And I intentionally just, because it was something that I wasn't clear, it didn't have the clear career path for me.
Okay.
I was just like, this is what I'm choosing. But also, you know, there was a time when I wasn't even sure that I wanted to be famous, you know, just because of
Right.
the industry. It was just so,
What did the
was an
industry make you
industry.
feel like back then? Like, obviously, I feel like there was touch and go for you. You were unsure of this is the space that you wanted to be in. What was it about it that made you have those triggers
Not having control and
of?
of my life and of my career path. You know, the fact that I needed to, you know,
You felt the entertainment industry is too unstable.
yeah, that's the word.
Okay.
It was unstable, and you always
Okay.
had to like do this to do that, and
Yes.
be with this person to be that, and that's the how it was portrayed. You know,
Right.
that there was a lot of like
Who you
couch
know,
casting,
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like back then it wasn't as intense as probably what it is like now.
Oh, really?
Yes. No, I feel like back then it was still a little bit more conservative in terms of getting into the space. But yeah, things do shift. But I find it very, very interesting that you've always had a demure personality, but your looks just, they couldn't keep you at the back. Your looks had to bring you to the forefront.
Yeah, but
And
I really
you-
do. I really have like a
You're very demure.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's
around my
a bit
friends-
about you there that's demure, but there's also that masculine energy of strength and assertiveness and power, which is a great mix. I really think is a great mix. Let's talk about Miss City Press. Was that after Miss Teen?
yeah. That was
Okay.
after Miss Teen,
What year did you win Miss City Press?
2003.
Just to let people know that this was a newspaper, the City Press newspaper had a pageant called Miss City Press.
Yeah, it was
I
big.
entered. Joan was one of the first winners
Yeah.
who became Miss South Africa years later. So you were one of the main early winners.
No, it was Joan first. Actually,
Joan
and then
first,
she crowned me.
and then she crowned you.
Yeah.
How was that year of winning
it
that?
was incredible. I think that pageant was really, it was so grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Funny, well, maybe it's because I won, and so I got to experience the organization.
Okay.
And it was real people just trying to make a difference.
Right.
And they allowed me at the time to just do with it what I wanted to do. So I did a lot of charity work, which is something that's very close to my heart always. And it didn't even need to be like a fanfare thing. I just really love helping out and being with people and doing what I can. And so they allowed me to do that. And also they gave me like a voice to be able to share what I wanted to share at the time. It was so interesting.
It was a nice journey,
It
huh?
was such a beautiful journey.
And then you got the car.
And then I got the car,
Ah,
honey.
girl, I remember having lunch with you. I don't know, maybe months after you've won. We were in Rosebank at some point.
Yes, I
And
remember
now
that.
you were rolling in it,
Yeah.
and your life changed drastically after
Yeah.
that particular
Yeah.
pageant.
Yeah.
And then, how did you handle and balance yourself? Because you're still very grounded. What is the secret to constantly always remaining true to yourself? Maybe this could refer back to your childhood and how you were raised, spirituality. Maybe you can just share how one can continue to stay true to themselves and not get lost in the source.
Yeah, it's God. Literally, there's just one word. I think even with the journey that I'm on, just to fast forward it,
Sure.
when I look back,
Yeah.
I'm like, had it not been for God, where would I have been? With the exposure, like you mentioned, just the exposure that
Right.
it can come with
It
a
can
lot
be
of good-
blinding. I know it.
but it can come with a lot of good things, but it can come with a lot of bad attention.
Exactly.
And so you need to just have your grounds, like you're self-rooted. You need to have your roots, and know where you are grounded, and know who you are, know whose you are, and know what guides you. And so there's certain things I cannot do. I just cannot do, not because of my husband or my children or even my family, because of God. Like I try and live by His rules, and sometimes it comes across as being stupid,
or boring.
yeah, or boring, but I know why I'm doing it. I've done it for many years. It's kept me out of a lot of trouble.
Yes.
And it's protected me from a lot of things. And it's just kept me safe. And it's given me so much peace. To just be a child of God has given me so much peace. And when I know that I don't answer necessarily to, like I'm saying, to people on earth, but it doesn't matter where I am or what I'm doing. God can see it. Even the things that I thought I was doing in private, God can still see it.
Right.
And so it just really helped me. And I think that's what also kind of because of what I thought the entertainment industry was at the time, I couldn't connect with what I needed to be or who I needed to be able to fit into that space. Because I just couldn't do those things that I thought you needed to do.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so I'd see, and I mean, at the time, I wasn't even, for instance, like drinking or partying or whatever the case may be. And so I just didn't know how I was going to survive in that environment.
Have you ever drank?
So I stared drinking late, like in my 30s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like you're in this environment and this is expected of you. And you,
Yeah,
you just
I
can't
get you.
connect. Yeah.
God was just protecting you, and it was a safe path, and it was also just your journey.
Yeah.
You know. But now you're back into the same space.
I am.
You're back, stronger, obviously wiser, with more experience, and this is where the longevity part of it all also now just ties in with having you on this show.
Yeah.
You've been in the industry since you were a little girl, and entertainment, the spotlight, you know it all. And here you are now back. What is Nomthi planning on doing differently this time from the lessons that have been learnt?
Owning my space.
Okay.
Really, literally, like, again, it's another word or term that's been wildly used, but it takes on such a different form when you're intentional about it. When you decide, and I think social media is, if you'd allow me, just to talk about how
You can vent. It's okay. Go for
I
it.
actually don't have I do have some bad things to say about it, but I actually think it gave us a lot of power.
True.
And so I have a love-hate relationship with social media just because, but you have the power
Listen,
to...
I'm very experienced with social media. It can be your greatest gift or it can be your worst ever.
Exactly.
So you need to be awakened at the reality of it. And also this whole misconception of saying it's just social media. It's not just social media. It's an entire spiritual world. That space, once you're on your phone and you enter there, you're entering a realm, a dimension, a spiritual entity space that is run by people's words, mostly words, which words are creative. And it's run by people's thoughts, emotions, hearts, intentions, and all those things are spirit, and they can be imparted in you. That's what I've learned about social media.
Yeah.
So if you don't know where you stand spiritually, you can literally be dribbled on the space. And I had to learn by being dribbled to understand what kind of space that is.
Yeah, it's media. It's all media. So it's a lot of media spaces that have that kind of power. And so...
but we give it the power.
Yeah, 100%. And
it has no power without you.
Yeah, 100%.
Everything depends on your attention to it because everything feeds off your energy. So what I've learned is that whatever energy you tap into on social media or you give to is where your power goes. So if you give it that attention, you make that thing stronger, bigger, whatever it is that you are giving. Whether it's your eyes or your ears or you're talking about, you're empowering it. Yeah. So I've learned if something I don't like, I don't give it power.
Yeah.
And then I just move on from it. It doesn't exist in my space. Therefore, I'm not building it stronger.
Yeah. But it's also given people a platform. It's a different type of platform.
Right.
Where if you are
everyone is a professional.
But if you're intentional, you can really just build yourself up and not rely on other forms of media if that's what you need to build your business. You know?
Can, yeah. It's a powerful space.
It's a very powerful space. People have really had careers being launched off social media, you know, whether it's cooking shows or books or longevity or, you know, so people getting to know from that perspective of people getting to know what you're doing, I think it's a powerful tool. And I think it's a tool that
can make you very wealthy.
Yeah, used correctly, consumed correctly, and used correctly.
Right.
But again, there's the flip side. If you're out of control of yourself, it can take over your life.
But you have to be centered now. Yeah. And I feel like we're at that space where we are extremely centered. And I know with me, I know who I am now. So it's so nice to be on social media because I now control it without it controlling me, you know. So what is Nomthi now doing now that you're back in the space? What are you excited to be doing now in your career?
You know, I think
Because clearly you're no longer doing economics.
No, I'm not
You're
doing
not
economics.
you're not at the office doing a 9 to 5.
I'm not a stockbroker anymore.
Right.
So to take it a little bit back, after COVID, I homeschooled my children.
Okay.
And I really was in a space at the time where I was really praying to God to say, show me the way, guide me from a career perspective.
Right. Where
And
to go.
Yeah, because I felt like there's certain things that I really loved and from a personality perspective, but I just couldn't pinpoint like what it was, like where is this thing that I'm good at? And I speak to my husband a lot about it, and I'd say to him, I want to go back. I know I'm like talented and I'm capable and I love working and I love working hard, but I just didn't know where I'd go back to. And so it just so happened that I started social media, and at the time I was just like, I really wasn't intentional. I just was doing it just to see what is this thing? Because I was new at the time to it.
Right.
And
like this content creating thing. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I found that I was guided, by God. God literally opened up the paths for me. He really created rivers and deserts, on my behalf.
Yeah.
And I then started finding like, oh, okay, I like marketing. Like I love talking about products and what people do, and I love learning about what people are doing and finding out what they're doing and just letting other people know. And so I started getting into the marketing space. And then I met the owner of the American Black Film Festival. Again, a chance meet. Like it can only be God. Literally, it can only be God.
Synchronicities when you're in alignment.
Exactly.
Serendipitous moments. Everything just aligns.
And so I did their marketing, and it's such an amazing brand. And I think that's also part of what I love about what I'm doing, is that I'm working with brands that I really love and that I really believe in what they're doing. And just to focus on them and, from that whole space, I've now become the global engagement lead. So I'm now, working with people in Africa, in the film space, again, back in the industry. So talking to filmmakers and people that are in the industries, producers, directors. And it's just been so incredible, just to be able to help grow a brand that once I got to know about it, I was like, this is incredible. This is an incredible brand. Like there's the film space, you would know, in South Africa and in Africa is just so underserviced.
Right.
And so full of talented people that just don't, that we just never know about,
Right.
And so we're just...
Only a specific few are celebrated.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be like that.
Right.
The talent here is
Incredible.
Yeah. We literally were with some filmmakers in London and just looking at their stuff. I'm like, why does no one know about them?
Right. But that's where you come in then to kind of give that exposure, using your platform, using your visibility, your influence. And that's where you get paid the big bucks.
Yeah. So I'm back in front of camera.
Fantastic.
And I love it.
And here you are right now on longevity.
I love it. It. So I get to work with brands. I get to do content creation and influencing for brands. But I'm very picky, very choosy who I work with. Not from
Energy has to be right.
Not from a pompous perspective, just from an authentic perspective. Yeah.
Because you've learned your lessons. Quick question in terms of the industry. How did you always survive being around, other energies that weren't really aligned with you? Because you get roped in this entertainment industry to be with a various bunch of people. How did you manage to navigate being in that space?
Just pray.
Okay.
Yeah.
Prayer shielded you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And very, very intentional about canceling things that are not for me, not of me, not of the godly world. Like if there's any energy that's not of God for me, I just cancel it in the mighty name of Jesus, because I'm like, I'm not getting involved. I don't have the capability to fight powers and principalities, but my God does. So I don't even get, I know it exists and I know it's there, and I'm not naive, but I don't really take all of it in. Like I don't live in fear,
right?
Like I wake up in the morning and I pray and I trust that, God is going to protect, He's going to flatten mountains, He's going to make rivers in the desert, and He's going to cancel anything that is not for me. and no weapon formed or fashioned against me shall prosper.
And I love that you actually speak it,
Yeah.
you know, because you are aware of your word is your power. And your background coming from your father being a pastor was really good for you. Because some other kids, it can be their worst experience, you know. So
It's
how did you manage
harsh.
to get yours to be...
Being a PK
Yours
is
works for
harsh.
you.
Yeah, no, mine does.
Because
But you have
pastors'
to,
children have had the worst experiences.
we really do. But I think it's also very important to not let your father's God be your God. In a sense that you just take from it's almost like it's run through your dad.
Right.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
know.
you have to find your own
have to
feet in
find
him.
Yes, exactly.
In God himself.
Yeah. So yes, when we were young, our father was our shield and our protector and our teacher. And we would rely on his word
And his ways.
and his ways and him speaking God over our lives.
Right.
But at some point you have to
Be
fly.
your own prophet.
Yeah. You have to
speak
fly.
to you.
And you have to have the relationship with God yourself.
Got you.
And so it was never, and I think he also protected us as a father.
Yes.
In the sense that even when we made our mistakes, he treated us like children and not like pastors' children. And that's important because it's important for me to know that he's first my dad before he's a pastor.
Fantastic.
To me.
Wow.
So to other people, he can be a pastor. That's the first base of their relationship. But for me, I needed to know that he was my dad, and he always made sure that even when he was reprimanding us, it was always, you did something, and not, what are people going to say about me?
Right.
As a reflection, as if I'm the one who's supposed to reflect what he does.
Right.
No, it was not that.
Because you need to go through your journey of mistakes as well as a child, whether your father is a pastor or not. And it cannot be
a reflection.
A reflection. Yeah.
And people do that. They'll always remind you how you cannot be. I mean, I was always like,
under pressure.
No, half
be
naked as an example. You know, like I was always like in skimpy things, and I loved just being, you know, myself.
Yeah.
And so I would be that person. And people would be like, hey, Wana Maruti, why are you dressed like that? And then, you know, it would be, so they allowed me early to just be myself. You know, my sisters could do whatever they wanted. I could do whatever they wanted. And I think it becomes a problem when it's reflected, when your father's profession is reflected on you. It's not fair, you know, in children.
He's still a pastor?
He's retired now, but yeah, he still is.
Look, I could sit here with you, Nomthi, and just reminisce, catch up, get more info, have this inner dialogue with you, as this is not just an interview, it's an interview. I've had an amazing understanding of your views from within. And because of that and your openness, I want to give you a gift of, we've launched our Longevity Wellness, our premium vitamins and nutritional supplements. This is my baby. I love her so much. She's really restored me. She's fixed me up, helped me look younger, feel healthier, and just feel on top of the world, energy, vitality. So in this little gift pack is our Longevity Wellness products. I've created a range of 8 different products. For you to sleep, it's called Restore. If you're struggling to sleep, because I know people struggle to sleep, it's called Restore. And then we've got Realign. It's going to help you stay focused during the day. You can think clearly, and we remove all the clutter on your mind, you know. We've got Restart. It helps you when you start your day with a good mood. You know, that pep in your step.
I know. After training, it's
after
gonna be
training,
amazing.
because you're also a workout lady, you're going to love Restart. We've got Rejuvenate. It's going to help you weight loss if you are looking to, when you're at the gym, to shed more weight faster. It's going to assist you. My favorite is Revive, which is my collagen. It's going to remove any wrinkles anywhere on your face. You're going to look 20 years younger. Not that you need it, but this is always great. You know, they say prevention is better than cure. Yeah. So we're preventing so that we don't age at all. We reverse the time. So Revive is the collagen. It's going to help you in everything, in your hair and your nails. And then Radiance is also part of the package. Gives you your skin that glutathione, gives you that natural glow. And Repair. Repair is for your immune system. So whatever, if you've got flu, best. It's made out of moringa and spirulina. And so I want you to have this, and I want to see you also posting because you're a content creator. It would be nice to see your
definitely will.
Your feedback on it.
Oh, this is amazing.
Once you've started using it. So enjoy.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to you for having me on your show. I think, it's so amazing to see what has, become of us.
Right.
And your story particularly, because
Right.
I think people think that life is linear and it's like,
No.
Tata las bega las susa las begele.
Yes.
And, if from stories in the Bible, that's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true that people can, go from one to another. It might be that some people do, but it's also so encouraging to see somebody who seemingly was there and then seemingly went into a dip and then come back.
Yes.
That, comeback stories are so phenomenal. And sometimes people they really look down on them and they really don't understand the power.
Right.
Because it takes so much internally for you to get to a place where you are good with you.
Very. And that's it. It's that superpower of resilience. And the show is about longevity. And you cannot go through this life journey, the long haul, without that. I call it a superpower called resilience, because resilience is going to be needed on this journey.
Yeah.
How did you tap into that superpower of resilience? Because you also have it in you.
It's just like everything for me, my whole life points to God, honestly, because even when you're walking through that journey and you're going through those tough days and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, you have to have faith and you have to believe that, he says his word is good. What he says he will do, he will do. He who has promised is faithful. And so, God is amazing for me. It's just really
He does say that he, he's given us life and life more abundantly.
Yeah.
And once we just rely on him, he's going to make sure that he helps us through everything we go through, establish us, restore us, repair us.
But also
He's got many promises for us.
But we don't know how that reflects on somebody else. Your story could literally save somebody's life.
This is the story of literally having God give evidence of everything that he has promised in his Bible. That's where I got to discover my journey as to why actually I was even born, so that God could use me as his vessel here on earth, so that he can show his evidence of who he is.
Still looking so beautiful.
Thank you.
And having created this beautiful range, I cannot wait to give you the feedback.
Yes, can't wait to see you posting and enjoying taking the supplements. I'm so excited. Any last words maybe on that camera to everybody, and just say they are watching Nomthi Vithi Talks Longevity, and they must keep it locked as well, and some words of wisdom, pearls of wisdom.
Yeah. For me, I think, being part of the show is just so phenomenal. Just one, to see, how beautiful a comeback story is. And sometimes we talk about comebacks as if they're a bad thing. They are definitely not. And if you're going through anything in life that you feel that you cannot get through, this lady, keep yourselves locked here, because I feel like she's been through it all, and she speaks from a place of authority and authenticity.
Right.
And I think it's important for me to say that, it's one thing to say, you can survive, you can do it, but it's another thing for me to say I have survived and I can do it, and I'm here to show you. And so congratulations. And I can't wait to see more episodes, and I hope you guys are going to be locked in here and stay tuned, because I believe that there's going to be a lot to learn and also a lot to gain from taking your supplements. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Oh, ladies and gents, I've had such an incredible time connecting with an old friend of mine whom I've now introduced to you all, Nomthi Vithi. Although she is now married, it's Nomthi Vithi Linyai. So if you want to find her, you can find her on social media. Go onto Instagram. She still goes under Nomthi_Vithi. Right here on Nomthi Vithi Talks Longevity. Talk about having a longevity in terms of our relationship, our friendship. This is what the show is about. And I want to get feedback from you guys. What are your thoughts on our episode today with Nomthi as my guest? Please let me know. Touch, people at home, they just got that touch screen and they're already like typing what their thoughts are, because everybody's on the touch screen, right?
Yeah.
letting us know what their thoughts are. Tell me who you'd like to have on the show. And yes, I'm finally here. I've answered to all of your requests to start my podcast. It's finally here.
Yeah.
Let me know your thoughts on the show. And remember, if you want to get yourselves some of my longevity wellness nutritional supplements, you are more than welcome. We are going to be all over the place, but you can also go onto our website, which is www.longevity-wellness.co.za. Remember, it's all about just being fit, being sexy, taking care of yourself, your inner self. Because I know you work out a lot, right, Nomthi, before you go. Give us quickly like a little bit about your gym routine and how you stay aligned in terms of your body. Your body is amazing. You still have a body of a 25-year-old. And there's work that has to be put in for you to look this good, and your face is amazing. What is it? What's the routine like for you?
Consistency. So whatever it is that my advice to anyone, I can tell you what mine is. I mean, I do weights and I train.
Okay.
But the most important thing is being consistent.
Right.
It's just if you, whatever it is that you promise to yourself, those are the most important promises. So being able to keep yourself healthy and fit is it's one of the hardest promises to keep because you've got no one else to account to but yourself.
Right.
And so for me, it's just about consistency, showing up, and feeling good. There's nothing, the amount of joy and just rejuvenation that you get from working out is incredible.
Right.
There's nothing that you can replace it with. And so for me is whatever it is that you like to do, whether it's walking, running, picking up weights, going to classes.
You gotta move your body.
Just move your body
Move your body
it consistently.
And now you're going to be moving your body, exercising, just tightening up your body with the help of longevity wellness supplements. So we've got Replenish, which is our vitamin. You're gonna love it.
I can't wait.
You're gonna look extremely gorgeous. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. And thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you again on another episode right here on Nomthi Vithi Talks Longevity. Mwah. God bless you all. Bye bye. Till next time.
Bye.